Like many African children of the time, Obafemi Awolowo was not keen on having a Western education. It was his father who insisted that his son must get all the literacy he could afford to give him. Even as early as the mid-1910s, it was obvious that there was a world of difference between people who were literate and those who were not. Awolowo recalls that when his father began to take him to school at about the age of 5 years old, he considered it an unwelcome interruption to his endless plays. Shokolu ensured that Obafemi was in school and made him endure the strict regimen of school life. Obafemi recounts that he did not like the corporal punishment which were prodigiously awarded to erring students in school. He reported the matter back home. His grandmother, Ashefula, was broken-hearted. She could not endure the news that her father, reincarnate, must endure such trouble all because of some education. She cried. His mother, Efunyela, was totally indifferent. His father, Shokolu, explained to little Obafemi that such corporal punishments were good for him. He pointed at all the important people in the community, pastors, catechists, clerks, teachers, etc., and explained that all of them had had to endure similar difficult situations in life to reach the height of society they now occupy. When it became clear to Obafemi that he was not going to get the support of his father to stop schooling and return to playing, he began to be truant. He stopped going to school altogether. In the morning, while it was thought he had gone to school, Obafemi would head to the farm with one of the numerous relatives who lived with his parents. When Shokolu discovered what was happening, rather than cane him, he decided to reason with his son and show him the benefit of a good education. Being slightly literate, Shokolu took time off his work and stayed home to tutor Obafemi on some basic primers. With time, Obafemi began to catch up with his learning. He returned to school and began to do well in his studies. His teachers were very encouraged with his performance, and there was very little reason to administer corporal punishment on him. Obafemi himself began to enjoy schooling and no longer stayed away from classes. Obafemi Awolowo's earliest education was in Ikenne, present-day Ogun State. He attended 2 schools in the early days of his education, St. Saviour's Anglican School and Wesleyan School. In those days, while the political system of the country was administered by the British, they permitted churches freedom to proselytize the people, particularly in the southern parts of Nigeria. The churches found it easy to reach the people by teaching the children of the natives, and the most effective way this was done was through the mission schools that pervaded most of the land. These schools were mostly primary and secondary schools. At the 2 schools Obafemi attended as a youngster, there was usually only one teacher to about 60 or 70 students. The older students were taught in the morning, and in the afternoon, the older students assisted the teacher in teaching the younger students. Awolowo recounts in his memoirs that he found it a pure miracle that any kind of learning could occur in that kind of environment. He would later discover as an adult that those teachers who taught him in his early days were near illiterates. Many of them could only manage to speak a few words in English. Yet, many of his mates in those schools went on to become important and well-accomplished individuals as adults. Obafemi Awolowo's father encouraged him to get the best out of his education. White chalk was the writing material for teachers in those days, and it was almost exclusively owned by the tutors. But Shokolu Awolowo bought chalk for his son to practice his writing. Obafemi would deface the wall of the house with his numerous writings, and his father never discouraged him.